Hello, everybody. We are officially back with Winterfall, and despite all the technical difficulties that we're going to continue to have, we're gonna plow through this. I want to say that it's been a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna give a pretty big recap, and we'll see if it jogs everybody's memory. Okay, so. First things first, our heroes did level up over the holidays to level 4, so all of their character sheets have been updated. And we will jump right into this. Previously on Winterfall, our newly dubbed adventuring party, called the Golden Tides, went on a collections mission to find a source of oil for the town of Offengrad. They got more than they bargained for when they discovered a long-forgotten group of protectors called the Wild Hunters, whom they suspect may somehow be linked to the eternal blizzard that ravages the world of Concordia. After following some clues, solving some puzzles, and dealing with a metallic facade town, they acquired 2 artifacts, Omenstar's Orb and a mysterious bugbear totem. Concluding that they would need better transport to venture into the more dangerous wild hunter spots in the world, they decided to head to the Conray Kingdom's capital city, Broad Lake City, in order to perhaps convince or earn a Beartech Walker, a machine built for the army to trudge through the snow and ice. When we last left off, the Golden Tide snuck their magical items into Broad Lake City and reconvened past the front gates. As you all begin to step in to the city, it's kind of abrasive. The amount of heat that permeates your body. You're used to the chilling of the bones and the chattering of teeth as you walk through these wastes, but as you step into the city, you both begin coughing and also giving a sigh of relief as the smokestacks that sort of tower over the city provide an air of warmth as well as a bunch of emissions. And as you step on the ground, you'll see that even some of the snow here is a little slush as you make your way onto the concrete and cobblestone streets. You can see that there are people all about, people with suitcases, baby carriages. You see people running to a location. This place is filled with people, so much so that it's almost disorienting it not being here before. And you can see the buildings here are also taller than most cities that you've come across. Most of them being, 5 and 6 stories high, but some of them being, almost skyscrapers. Not in our definition, but definitely in this world. Nearly 20 stories tall. Very big buildings. And as you all begin to take a look around, if any of you would like to roll a perception check to sort of get the vibe of this place, I would love that.
Let me scroll all the way down because I could do that.
Okay. So, as you begin to, take stock of your surroundings, I'm going to go ahead and bring us over to the map. And welcome to Broad Lake City. I believe that your party is somewhere at the beginning of the place here. So let me go ahead and just grab a quick token, just so that we know where you guys are. So I believe that you've made it past the front gates and you're finally starting to make it into what is considered Alley Row. So this area of the city is largely an entrance, and you can notice that by the amount of souvenir shops and other miscellaneous barkers sort of yelling at you to buy stuff. Buy these rugs, buy these coats, get the newest right here. And you can sort of tell that this is a bustling part of the city. People going in and out, especially with the line at the front. But more specifically, Celine and Morgan. As you begin to look around and, take stock, even at this time of day, this has got to be more busy than it's ever been. You can see people running into each other and sort of making a mess out of the streets here. It seems like something big is going on, and you're not too sure why just yet. But as you all are standing there, sort of breathing in this gross, smoggy air, what would you like to do?
Put my mask on to filter the gross air.
Easy enough to do. You'll probably get a few strange looks, but not too strange, because a lot of people here are wearing masks.
I assume if I cast, like, air bubble, that would be pretty...
Magical politeness would probably cause more than just a couple of stares.
Okay, yeah.
And just as a reminder, as you're starting to think about what you want to do, last time you had gathered a couple of things that the townspeople wanted. You thought of a couple of things you wanted in the city, and then of course the Bear Tech Walker. You're not sure how you're going to achieve that yet, but that is on the docket as well. If you do need a reminder for the things that the townspeople ask for, I also have those written down.
I personally would, because I can't find my notes right now.
Okay, yeah, let me pull those up real quick. Okay, so I believe last time they asked for rare metals, things like gold, silver, etc., animals for farm raising, rope, wood, oil, of course, and any other pertinent items that a city might need. Food, stone, brick, anything.
Is there any reason why I would have a negative to max health?
A negative to max health? I don't.
Or did I just fat finger? Because
I-
my max health has negative 12.
I can't say that anything happened last time that would have done that.
Okay, I probably just fat. Okay.
And let me bring in. As we're getting into the city.
Oh, found my notes. Yay.
There are clouds in the sky, snow at your feet. You hear a dog barking.
What are we doing, boys?
Does anyone know where to actually go to buy stuff here? Like, what we're looking for?
Well, I've got it all written down right here, I believe. Got salt, ginger, milk, water, metals, few animals, pigs, cows, and chickens to be specific, rope, marble, charcoal, cloth, and wood.
Right.
We're getting the wood on the way back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I suppose we should just head to the markets and pick it all up.
Seems fair enough.
As you say that, you can see a short gnome man sort of walks up to you. Would you like a map?
I like maps.
Here you go, only 2 copper.
silver the copper exchange rate?
I have 2 copper on me.
Oh, okay, I'll pay you back.
Well, here you go. If you ever need more maps, you know where to look. And,
And where would that be?
right here. I sell them.
Like, well, when you say more maps, you mean of other cities or just the general maps? Or
Well, I specialize in Broad Lake City, but if you come to my map shop, it's downtown, I could hook you up.
I glance at Kazrite.
I need more maps for my collection.
Correct. That's why.
Kazrite's staring.
Well, if you do want to come down, you can find me south side of the markets.
What's the name of your shop?
It's super proud of it. It's my map.
Monty's
Shop.
Map Shop.
Nope, it's
wait.
just
No,
my map
Monty's
shop.
Map Mega Shop. There we go. There we go.
That's way cooler than mine. Yeah, it's just called the map shop. You'll find it.
All right.
Well, have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.
And he wallows off.
How good is this map? Does this look like a good map, or do we just get scammed?
Now that you're looking at it, it's like the map that I'm showing you right now, but clearly drawn by hand and not very good at that. It does have the general outlines of the districts, and it has a couple of notable buildings like the Capitol building, the collections office, and the police station, but it does not have a multitude of facets to the map. In fact, it's one tone, it has a hand-drawn compass that is slightly off-kilter, and it was probably drawn with a charcoal pencil.
Seems like this map is worth about 2 copper.
Get what you pay for.
It's not great, but we weren't scammed.
Yeah.
If he has better maps.
I don't know, Kazarite. I feel like there's much better map shops probably anywhere else.
You think there are more in town?
I would assume so. I'm sure there's probably like some information area that we could go to that's probably got some pretty well detailed maps. Although I'm not sure if we can take them legally.
Maybe there's more information on the map. That was a joke. Don't actually look at me like that, please. That's fine.
Perhaps we should just go and find out for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, groceries, minerals, livestock. What
I'm
else?
sure we'll find everything we need. The real issue is how we're going to get it out. Might have to buy an additional wagon or something like that.
The groceries should be fine. The minerals we might have to look for. We definitely have to get the livestock last.
The livestock are probably going to be the hardest to take back.
Because we'd have to escort them there. Although
be
if we
able
have
to
to
find-
transport them there, then maybe we don't need to worry about a larger vehicle for the prison.
We could just try and find if maybe we could find a dog or something of the sort to herd it together. Well, we'll figure it out when we get there. Let's get going.
Okay. Where would you like to go?
The markets.
Okay. Easy enough to do, even with the crude map that they've given you. It provides enough information to sort of weave your way that direction. Are you looking for any particular shops to start, or just generally taking a look around?
I guess just taking a look around.
Okay, yeah, easy enough to do. Go ahead and just make a basic perception check, and do it with advantage since everybody's helping. Oh, no.
Wow. Look at that.
I was really trying to help you here, but Okay, yeah,
I
so...
got one eye.
You should
That's
invest
true.
in another eye.
Yeah, as you begin to make your way into the markets, you're just noticing that there's a lot of ravens around, and it's kind of freaking you out. Like there are ravens just pecking at the snow and like pecking at people, and one's pecking at your shoe right now, and it's really annoying.
Oh man.
Would anybody else like to take a peek around?
Not me. I'm cursed.
Yeah, I'll take a look around.
Okay,
See
yeah.
what could happen. Not great, but okay.
I didn't see it, so what did you roll?
Oh, 13.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I was wondering, because when we all rolled perception to enter the city, I rolled as well. But you're like, okay, so Morgan and Celine. I was like,
I just figured you didn't want to roll, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay,
I've
yeah,
been rolling
so
this up the whole time.
so
13.
with a 13, here's what you see. First things first, and this stands out the most to you. There's a Wiggle Piggle here. As you begin to make your way into the market, you can see it has the same sort of glass windows in the front and the steps, and you can see the Wiggle Piggle logo proudly presented in the front. Although this one is a bit smaller than the Wiggle Piggle up in Offengrad. A couple of other things you notice. At the top of Old Town, even peeking above the rest of these buildings, you can see the Odd Luck Casino. It's big, bright neon lights sort of shining out across the city. And you notice a couple of other small places. You notice a couple of motels. And a little rug shop that's closed down.
Tragic. Guys. There's a Wiggle Piggle here.
Relevant question here.
Yes.
Are we using oversized weapon rolls from DMG?
I might have to look those up. I don't think we've pre-stated those, but let me see.
I've just discovered them. I didn't know they existed, but you can. So there are in the monster section. Basically, if a monster has a weapon that is manufactured for it, so if it has a weapon that is like for a large size, and it can only be wielded by a large size, the damage dice go up. But it doesn't just say monster, because whenever it specifically talks about the damage, it is referring to creatures.
Creatures aren't players.
The intent is...
Yeah, I don't see this applying to you guys right now. Maybe I could be convinced otherwise, but at the moment,
I'll send you the RPG on it. But I mainly need to know because if it is the case, I would like to get one manufactured here.
I mean, it's certainly a possibility. You should know that this is not published by Wizards of the Coast.
The first hyperlink on the page goes to the actual page. It's just someone, what's it called? Interpreting the rules.
Okay.
It's like a more in-depth now. You don't have to look at it right now. I'm just saying this is for later.
Okay. I will look into it. As of right now, we're gonna put a pin in it.
Yeah.
But since you mentioned that, you probably could get a weapon manufactured here. There are plenty of, sort of industry-leading production facilities here that you can maybe look into. As of right now, as you're looking at the streets, you know that the Wiggle Piggle sells stuff for adventurers, and you might be able to find another shop if you want to give me an investigation or perception.
I think I might invest in this either way, because Kazarite's very strong. So a very large weapon would be funny. You said investigation? Oh fuck, I'm dumb.
So as you begin looking around, especially for the big sword idea that you have in your mind,
Well, most likely a lumber mill, and I'm gonna probably have to settle with a really big club.
well, in that case, I would remind you that you are going to be chopping trees later. As of right now, you don't see anything that would really help you out here beyond the shops that I've mentioned so far.
Hmm.
While Kazrite is sort of peeking, looking around, is there anything else that you guys would like to do?
Yes. Is there a like a general shop, or does everything seem to be more specialized, and we'd have to look more into it for everything?
The marketplace is sprawling and gigantic. So many shops to look through, mostly specialized, just because there's so much competition. But if you want to take a look around yourself, you totally can. To see maybe if you can find a general store. The Wickle Piggle is pretty close to a general store, although it's franchised, as you've just found out, so who knows?
Yeah.
We should ask to have them open a Wiggle Piggle at the Golden Spire.
Ooh.
Mm.
I like that idea.
Well, that's gonna need a bit of convincing, but
Maybe not right
I
now,
know.
but definitely for later.
Once we're a more established city, I'm sure.
Could Droden look for like a mineral shop for the minerals we need, but also maybe a place that has. Maybe actually can't even do that. Never mind, I can't afford that. Yeah, just a mineral shop.
Yeah. You know what? At this point, I'll say, as you guys have sort of looked around and are beginning to explore, I'm not going to make you do a bunch of other rolls. Let me pull up some of the pricing here. You said a mineral shop in particular?
What minerals do we need specifically? Was it written down, or just we're looking for stuff in general?
Marble, charcoal, and like salt. It looks like. Oh, and metals.
Okay. So as we begin looking around, you do find a little place. It sticks out to you because it's going for a very different aesthetic than the rest of this area that is trying to be more modern. This one is made up of stone and marble pillars. And as you begin to step through the heavy door, it's pretty low light. And there are a couple of lanterns that are hanging on the ceilings, and surrounding you is a plethora of small boxes and crates. And there's a counter at the front. You can see there's sort of a half-orc there picking his teeth with a knife.
Hello.
He sort of looks up. What can I do you for?
We would be looking for some many of things. Let's see, marble, charcoal, salt, and other metals.
Is that right? Well, I got most of those things. How much do you need?
Jordan looks over at Morgan.
I don't have specifics written down for sizes. I don't know if they gave them or not.
Well, in that case, since this is a very general idea, how much would you be willing to spend on materials?
Does anyone have how much we have to spend?
Me, Kazarite, our accountant.
Yeah, 1 second. I got it.
Kazra, the accountant.
Yep.
And Emil, the bank.
Yep. We have. We didn't spend on anything on identifying the orb, did we?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna take out the money we need to spend on that.
I have a good like 500 gold.
We have. Well, then. I miscalculated somewhere. But you guys haven't paid for your licenses yet, right?
I'm still 250 gold in debt. Yes.
And Selena's 100 as well, right?
So Celine doesn't have any debt.
Then why is Okay, so we have 250 to spend.
If you have 100 gold written down there, it might be for what she needed to make the homunculus servant, but
Okay.
she doesn't really want it anymore.
Then yeah, if you what do you have on your sheet? You have 500 on your sheet, right?
499 plus a couple silver, a couple copper.
So we have about 250 to spend.
Yeah. I also
Okay,
have.
I'm gonna redo
silver
this
necklace
because
that's
this is
worth-
wrong.
And I would
minus
assume
250.
we're gonna want to spend most of that on the animals.
Those will probably cost you. They're probably not as expensive as you're thinking. I think like just a typical horse is about 50 gold pieces. Something like a sheep is 2 gold pieces, that sort of thing.
That's not so bad.
It's not terrible, but it will. I mean, in comparison, it's probably going to eat up a bit of your cash. Yeah. Let me
We'll have to
come.
buy like a sheepdog to herd him back.
Sure, yeah. I will say finding a farmstead is probably your best bet here. So you might not find it in the market unless you're looking for exotic animals, in which case there is a small stall for that.
Hey guys, if we stall for 6 levels, I can get Mighty Impel and just start throwing them.
I'm sure this will work great. We just need a monk that can ride on it and then use monk falling and
Alright,
catch it.
here's catapult.
Can I ride on my own and throw it?
That's some anime physics. Well, we have a lot of other things we need to buy as well. How much would you say you could get us of that for 50 gold?
Let me just throw around a couple of numbers here. So for 20 pounds of charcoal, it's listed at about 3 copper.
Wow.
But I'm gonna say it's 3 silver, especially in this economy.
Goddamn inflation.
Yeah. Salt, luckily, not as expensive. 5 copper pieces for a pound. For ginger, 1 pound of ginger is 1 gold. Cotton cloth is a silver piece per square yard. I think you kind of get the idea here. Masonry stone is a pound for 5 copper pieces. So let's just chalk up some stuff. You said 150?
No, I said just 50.
Just 50. Okay.
Although even then, with those numbers, that might be too much. Well, actually, no. It's for a whole. It's for a whole town. That
yeah.
might be fine.
Well, I should ask. You do actually have enough to like get enough for a house with the amounts that you have, but do you have a plan for carrying it yet?
I suppose
We're
we
gonna
should
have to-
probably do that
We're
first
gonna have
now.
to get another cart.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I think I might have the stuff that you want, but doesn't look like you have that much cargo capacity.
Yeah. We're just going around collecting some numbers first before we
Okay.
check it on back.
All right.
And while we're at that, could you also maybe point us out to a place where we could rent another cart and maybe some animals?
Well, there's an exotic animals place. It's called Chessex. It's sort of a new brand. I don't know. That might have something. But you'll probably want to talk to Farmer Dave. He's my cousin. He's up north.
Okay, so
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
Real quick comment. So the post that I saw in favor of it originally, I'm now discovering was just pure cope. It was dumb. I don't know what DM allowed oversized weapons in this capacity. It is, yeah, you're right.
Yep. No,
I'm
believe
looking
me,
at it now.
I think there is actually a rule on PCs holding like a giant's weapon, but typically they have like disadvantage and like a -5 or something to wielding it, unless you use like certain potions or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like
try and
Kazurite
find that.
is eventually gonna be big, so I feel like we will have to get you a big club eventually.
Yeah,
Sure.
and we gotta figure out the rules on that.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
not.
because like, what's the rules of a giant using a like a
Like I
human
said,
sword?
we'll do some research later, but we're not quite there yet, so we have some time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so decidedly at this sort of like goods warehouse place, you assume that you'll be able to get quite a bit. But yeah, so you've heard that this guy has a cousin named Dave up north who might be able to help you out, and there's still that exotic pets shop somewhere.
Say we check out the exotic pets just to see what they got.
I'd be interested.
Yeah, I'll check. I don't see why not. We have some time.
Okay. So as you begin to leave the area here, you'll notice, unlike the rest of these buildings, this one is a tent, and it has sort of a roaring, plated and grated fireplace, sort of burning in the center, and you see a variety of cages selling a series of mysterious-looking and sometimes disturbing creatures, sort of all yipping and yapping. And at the front, you see a woman with a very elaborate headdress, sort of shivering but pretending to look very posh in the cold as she notices you walking up.
Hello.
Well, hello. How can I help you?
We're just we've been hearing a lot about your shop, and we got a little curious. Decided to come inside, see what you had.
Oh, well, we have an assortment of wonderful pets. Do you have any preferences?
I guess ones that get along with rabbits.
Wonderful, yes. So something small, cuddly, that sort.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd follow me. She begins to bring you over to a set of cages, noticeably smaller, sort of in a grid-like pattern these cages are set up. And as you step into the tent, it is noticeably warmer, although the wind is still affecting things. She points to a cage where you can see a strange creature. It looks like a rooster, but with huge tail feathers and feet that almost outsize its body. It is a walking abomination as it sort of looks up to you with its huge eyes, one dangling to the side. It goes, "Kapah!" This is a fustercluck.
I see. Anything else?
Are you not interested in this one?
Oh, guys, what do you think?
Nah.
Okay, I see. It's not of your preference. What about this one? and she points above it, and you just see a platypus.
Huh. How much is it?
Oh, this one. Oh, it's so cute. 300 gold.
Jeez.
What does it do?
Not much, really. Not interested?
We'll come back to it. Want to get the whole look around, you know?
Sure, yes. Come this way. She points to another cage where you can see it's quite it almost makes you question this lady's sanity, because you just see a rock. This right here is a rock.
How much?
This one, 50 gold, although I will tell you it prefers water.
What does it do?
Oh, you'd like a demonstration? Well, please take a few steps back. I'll let it walk around. And she opens the cage with a flick of a key. And you can see she actually has a magic capability, but she very subtly uses Mage Hand to bring it down onto the floor. And you can see it's a rock until 4 little spindly legs sort of pierce through the rock and stand up and faces you.
When you say legs, are these like what kind? What do?
They look like spider legs.
Oh, okay.
How does Volus feel about this situation?
Volus is shaking.
Oh no, poor baby.
Does it eat anything?
Yes, actually, it eats gravel. Anything of the mineral sort that isn't crystallarium in appearance.
How much of it does he eat and how fast?
Well, I'd say I'd probably give him a good handful of pebbles and stones a day. So far, he seems to be quite happy about it, aren't you, little guy? And she pets it, and you just see the leg shiver for a moment.
May we see the bottom of it, if you don't mind?
Well, of course, yes. She flips it up, and it is a flat bottom. It looks like rock, like stone.
I can't tell if that means male or female.
If you don't want this little one, I can put him back.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, we can afford pebbles, surely.
We could definitely afford pebbles.
Well, if you're thinking about it, I do have one more that I think you might be a little interested in.
All right.
You can see she puts the rock back into its cage, and the legs slink back into the rock, and it makes a very gross scraping sound. And she opens another cage. And this one, you see a mummified cat. And I say this because as she pulls it out, it is completely inanimate, almost like a papier-mâché interpretation of a cat. But when she sets it down, you can hear a... I don't even know if that came through.
No.
No.
Okay, wait, let me try again. Hold on. Almost on it. How was that one?
Yeah.
Weird.
Horrifying. Thanks.
So when you say is it closer to mummified or closer to like a paper mache cat?
Would you like to inspect it?
Yes.
as you approach, she goes, "Oh, just 2 rules. Make sure to pick it up from the bottom, and if you would like, please hold your hand on its back so it knows that you're there."
Okay.
You follow the instructions, and it's warm to the touch, and it's fairly heavy. I'd say about like a half gallon of milk, or a half liter, I suppose, would also be all right. And as you're sort of inspecting it, you can hear it purring.
Uh-huh. How much is this one?
5 gold.
Damn.
Why is this one so cheap?
Well, I'll be honest, I can't find a home for this little guy. I can't tell you why. It's so charming. Inanimate, doesn't need to eat, and it loves pets. Who wouldn't want it?
So, what happens if this is picked up and the rules like aren't followed?
Well, I've only heard of stories that things go wrong, and I really haven't tested against it. I received this item from an adventuring party some years ago. Said something about a labyrinth that they had to go through. I couldn't tell you the full story, but I took the cat.
I'm giving this lady 5 gold.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and add mummified cat to your inventory.
Nice.
I do hope you like him. I haven't given him a name, so feel free.
Gary.
What?
Gary.
Gary? Any other suggestions?
Pickles.
I like pickles.
He's dry. Pickles aren't dry. He's cucumber.
All right, his name is Pickles.
I should have guessed by how much you guys like the bugbear totem. That was going to be the one, but
How much was that? How much was the rock?
Rock was 50 gold.
that's right.
I don't know. That almost sounds worth it to me.
I
Well,
agree, I
and
think-
if you don't want the soft and cuddly ones, I also have ones that might be helpful in battle. You guys look like you're equipped.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Behind you, I have some of our larger editions.
Jordan's very much contemplating this. Are we in a hurry? Do we need to? I mean, because I could, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we can look him over.
Oh, okay.
I'm so delighted. Please follow me. She weaves her way around the grated fire, and you go to the other side of the tent, where you see 3 very big cages, and immediately a flurry of claws and a growl starts to pounce against the cage as you get close, and despite you flinching, she doesn't seem to care at all. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is a lion turtle.
I'm sorry?
Lion turtles. Very fierce creatures.
How old is it?
Oh, I believe somewhere in the 300-year range. I couldn't really say. I actually acquired this from the army. They didn't know what to do with it, but they thought it might be handy to profit off of. Something about something coming from the north, south, something. I can't remember. And as you're looking at this dragon turtle, it is a monstrosity. I mean, it has furred, clawed paws that lead up to a shell that is barbed and spiked on the back, and it has the sort of mane of a lion and the snout. But as you look, the snout comes to a point, and that's where you can see the snapping jaws of the turtle that's currently trying to rip out of the bars.
Bowser?
What's that?
Bowser?
If that one doesn't interest you, I have 2 more.
It's interesting to see, but probably not for us now.
All right. Well, next up, a little more passive, but still quite deadly. You can see she has what is essentially a gelatinous cube in a crate. It's smaller than ones that you've probably heard of, and certainly smaller than the goo that you fought in the tower, but it's green. It looks like jello, and you can still see a couple of bones still digesting, and it sort of just sloshes and slooshes on the inside. Now, I will tell you, it is my responsibility as a seller to inform you that I do have this one protected by magic. I didn't want it escaping from its cage, I'm sure you can understand. It's very deadly, though. It touches something and it instantly disintegrates. It's wonderful.
Instant.
Quite instant, yes. Unless, of course, you have magical protections.
Watch.
What?
How many bags of holding do we have? Can I like just pour it on someone?
A bioweapon? What the
Well, what stops it from being able to fit inside the bag of holding? It's like an octopus; it can fit through the holding or the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you might have some other problems in dealing with that, but you know.
I'm just concerned for other reasons.
I know it's not that impressive to look at, but I do have one more, if you're interested.
How much is the slime?
The slime is 500 gold pieces.
How much was the lion turtle?
250 gold pieces.
That's in budget, guys. We can abandon the quest to get a lion turtle.
No.
Well, wait. With Mighty Impel, if I get a glove that protects my hand, I can throw the ooze at people. I want to see a bear walker go against us, and I fucking throw a slime of disintegrating ooze at their fucking cockpit.
Guys, we are not creating bioweapons on session 7, okay?
Yeah, that's a session 8 thing when we have more gold.
Exactly? I don't know.
I think we should buy the slime.
Well, let's hear her
At
out.
the
What's the
moment, they're
third
still on
one?
the rock. Well, hang on. Before we get to the third one, could you tell us the price? Because I want to try to guess what it is based on the price.
You'd like a description?
No, I would like just the price.
Do we get a discount if we guess?
Well, this might be surprising, but it's free.
Oh,
However, as you'll know in this world, most things that are free are not actually free.
This is a 3, but it has a price of its own. That is a ghost that feeds on your lifespan. That is my guess.
Not too far off. It does sort of enjoy feeding off of...
Man? Do I get the
life
contract of the
essence.
devil?
Perhaps it would just be better if I showed you. And you
Fine,
can
fine.
see This one is actually covered by a tarp. And she actually, before she opens it, turns to you all. Now, I will have to ask, I have here. She pulls out some shaded glasses for those of you that don't have them already. I'm looking at you, Celine. But if you choose to wear them, she goes, those will protect you.
Okay, puts them on.
Put them on.
Yeah, so she lifts the tarp, and there you see, in a jar about the size of what's a good size comparison? I'd say something like a very large jar of peanut butter. This one is made out of glass, and you can see it has a metal lid. You see a sort of mesmerizing pink and blue swirl of colors. And even with these glasses, you're sort of like seeing yourself picking it up and holding it in your hand. It feels like you want to, but you're fighting off the urge. This is what we call a fae. I have been given possession of this, mostly to keep it safe. I have been working with exotic animals all my life. If I found those capable of taking care of it, I believe I'd let it go off of my hands, but let me make it clear. This is something beyond my comprehension. It comes from what is a place called the Feywild. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a strange place filled with dangerous and enticing creatures of all sorts to mortals. I can't tell you how old it is or its true intention, but for a while, those that touched it simply disappeared. I can't tell you where or why, or who. All I can say is once this was captured by the police force here, we had already lost several members. It appears whatever this creature is we have to assume malevolent. Despite that, I believe it doesn't mean to do this to people. I don't know. It's complicated. It is. But all I've done to secure its safety is keep it in here. It doesn't appear to dim its light after time. And as long as I keep this top and these sunglasses handy, I don't have any issues.
Want it?
Group huddle, group huddle.
We are not about to adopt a fake creature in our midst, are we?
We already have Valus. I mean, he's got Fae in him. Maybe they'll get along.
This
Would like to talk
is
to
what
the lady.
Like to call a demon, a real one.
Also, I don't
That's
think
right, has
those
thoughts
will
brewing.
teleport us at will. Rowan looks at Falus. Maybe.
Valus is currently cleaning himself with his paws.
Maybe.
He never. Okay. I'll be honest. As enticing as that is, I kind of just want the rock.
I mean, we can get both. We can get the rock and
It is.
the Fae.
It's free.
Just because it's free doesn't mean that it's a good idea.
I mean, think about all the other like cursed objects we already have. I mean, we could open up like an emporium.
Can
Let's
can
have-
we ask the totem if we should get the fate?
Oh my god, we could ask the totem.
That's right. Pulls out the totem. How does it work again? It's in.
It's like what, 3 questions, but it only responds in grunts.
Yes.
Yes.
I look down to the totem. Should we take the Fae?
And just to be clear, it's been 24 hours since you've used it last?
Probably, because I don't think we used it while on the journey.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, let me turn off my noise suppression for this one. Can you repeat the question?
Should we? What was it? Take the Fae? I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll point the totem towards the Fae in the jar. There's the Fae that is free. If,
Right,
if
put
we
the
take-
sun glasses over the bugbear's
Oh,
eyes.
I put. I kind of put him in front of my one of my eyes, going through the glasses.
Ooh, that was kind of fast.
That
This movie
means
amenity.
no.
I want a second opinion. I'm gonna start ritual casting augury.
Okay. What are you asking in augury?
Remember, this is a vibe check, no specifics.
Let me just read through augury real quick again. Tool. What is the result if we take this Fae?
That's a good question, I think.
After about a minute of concentrating, you can see your eye begins to light up as it does, and for a moment you peer into the strands that make up fate. What you receive back is weal and woe.
Ooh.
I think we take it, guys. I think we take the Fae.
That's the worst possible outcome because that's enticing, but will also lead to bad results.
This is a terrible.
I will
idea.
take it. Kazra's
Kazra-
taking it.
Kazra will be the bearer.
This burden.
Well, I, as wonderful as that is, this is a very classified item. I'd request that if you can bring back a paper from the police district, that would make me feel much safer about it being in your hands.
What kind of paper?
A documentation, a right to wield exotic pets.
What if my family has dealt with demons of many kinds across entire lineage? I was trained from a young age to deal with them. If I prove I am of my lineage, is that enough?
Well, if... Forgive me, but I've only just met you. And as I've stated, it is free, but I would have to really trust this going to the right hands. I'll tell you what. As a show of good faith, this paper that I'm asking you for is a requirement, but if you were to show me that you were capable of taking care of your 2 new pets, let's say a month from now, I'd be happy to give it over.
Puddle, guys, group puddle.
We will not be here in a month. We are visiting.
And we could always come back.
It's a very long journey to come back.
I'll present this to you. Essentially, what you're being given here is 2 options. You can try to maybe get in good with the government here in Broad Lake City and try to earn yourselves a exotic pets right, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and prove that you can take care of these exotic pets and maybe build a friendship over time.
I guess we could stop by the station and see what the requirements are. See if we can't get that done. Plus, it's looking like we might need some more gold anyway to hold the supplies back.
Yeah, because that's where the commissions thing is also anyways.
Yeah.
Does Kazrite have documentation?
I believe last time you presented... Oh, no, because you completely avoided.
But do I have any form of documentation from my past?
Let me see. Well, I mean, you did run away from home quite quickly. So grabbing documentation, I don't think would have been at the forefront of your mind. But I can give me a moment here. I can see maybe if there's something.
Do you have documentation now, or was that something we needed to go do also?
Guys, we are not about to adopt a fae.
I mean, we might in a month.
We are.
You are. You are.
Yes.
Bless
Yes.
your soul. Goodbye, your character.
No.
Yeah, you have to feed it, water it, walk it.
We take a trip to the Feywild, guys.
Appease it, never tell it
Do
your
you
name.
do you know what isn't cold and freezing? The Feywild.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
Some
Well-
are seasonal creatures.
What
Wow.
if we send Valoose?
What if we send Balloos?
Luce just looks at you and sniffs.
I pull out the bugbear totem again.
Why are
Final-
all of
final
our moral
question.
decisions decided by a
Hey,
fucking-
hey, I did not ask 2 questions. He gave me a second answer for free. I did not utter a second question. He asked for elaboration on the first question and then answered the first question. I have 2.
Our moral decisions should not be decided by sentient wood.
He is wise.
I
He is
disagree.
wise
That's how a lot
beyond
of
his.
people make their decisions, actually.
He is wise beyond his years, Emil. You should respect him. He'll hold up the totem. Are the Feywilds frozen? She did mention them, right? I'm pretty sure she explicitly said Feywilds.
Yes, she explained that
Okay.
by Fey, this almost certainly came from the Feywild.
Well, if it came from the Feywild, it's probably sending people to the Feywild.
So your
Duh.
question is?
Are the Feywilds frozen?
Mm.
Damn it.
And you can see the vibration is still there. You do have a question left.
Let's go.
What a nice totem. Totems over genies.
Alright, I'm trying to think of a really good question that'll help us get this thing.
I'll just throw it out there. You still have 24 hours, or I guess something like 12 hours before the next dawn. Something like that.
I think we just hang on to our last question. Might become useful at the police station.
Okay. True, there could be a moral inquiry.
I feel like the police will be less tolerant of us pulling out a magical bear totem.
We just say it's like a religious practice. I'm sure they'll.
Wait, Kazrai holds up the totem. This is a pet. He can say that I've taken care of him. I have agreed to take him on a journey to get him free of this vessel. Have I not? This is his last question, and he's holding it to the lady. Have I not treated you fairly and agreed to help your cause? See, he can only answer in grunts. It's part of his affliction.
As you say that, you can see the vibration in the totem dims.
And no, he must sleep now. Kazrai will stow him back away.
I'm sorry. Did you just try to tell me that a totem could speak?
Yes, he is a warrior trapped, I believe.
I respect your ventriloquism, but I'm afraid that's just a wooden totem. Now, I'll have to ask you, I'm so sorry, but I do have other customers looking to buy stuff. Would you like anything else?
Oh, yes, I'll pay the rock.
Absolutely. Yes. Here you go. She takes the rock out and hands it to you, and it's uncomfortably moist on the outside.
Oh,
He's slippery.
And as
Slippery little fella.
you're still holding it, its little 4 spider arms creep out of the rock and start clinging to your skin.
yeah, I'm just gonna put you up on my shoulder here.
And you find not only does it rest on your shoulder, but the spider legs are currently grasping around it, and at the end of the spider legs are bristles that sort of poke into your fur. It's not going anywhere.
That's fine. I can stay like this, and I'll just tap it.
It taps back. Okay. You are ushered out of the exotic pets tent. Make sure that you've marked down the purchases that you've made. And you're back out into the streets. What would you like to do?
I'm heading to the police station.
Okay. Yeah. You make your way over to the police station. Let me pull this up. Okay, yeah, so as you begin to make your way there, you can see along the way there are passers-by, people going from place to place, and actually, you hear a barker. President Holbeck to give speech tomorrow! President Holbeck to give speech, you don't want to miss it! Tips at the bottom, tips at my feet!
That's where it's gonna look to Morgan. Do you believe we could find the president at his speech and give him to have a good word for us so we can adopt the Fae?
My god.
Maybe. I'm probably if we just like help him just a little bit, it'll probably have like a single thing we gotta do for him. It couldn't be too hard, right?
It'll be easier. I do not have the documentation to get anything from the police station.
I have an ID. I just got it, so it shouldn't be hard to get you an ID.
I think they will question the fact that I'm inside the city without one.
I will remind you that your ID does specify that you have memory loss.
Yeah. Might not be useful.
And
Rodent.
and you might recall it does actually have a doctor in the city that was recommended to you.
Oh yeah.
Jordan,
Yeah. Yes.
do you have an ID?
Kind of. I think. I just used my holy symbol, right?
Yes, and in your case, the reason that your holy symbol works so well is because Bahamut is generally accepted, but in your case, your holy symbol is so unique and finely crafted into your shield. It's unmistakably for someone as divine as yourself. Irrevocably connected to the gods. It would almost be like a man driving up in a Ford GT telling you that he makes $20,000 a year. It's just not possible.
Jordan, will you help us get the permit to get the Fae?
I mean, I could ask, I guess.
Is the barker still going on about the speech, or is he moved on to something else?
Yeah, as you begin to tune in, he continues on. President Holbeck to give State of the City, State of the Union, State of Conray. What notes? Right, he's gonna tell you all about his plans. Magical politeness in question. State of the army. State of... He keeps going on.
This could be useful.
I believe he could be a very valuable friend. We should find him.
We should definitely attend that speech tomorrow, then try to talk to him after. Nothing bad will happen if we just go up to him and attempt a conversation.
Correct.
I mean, he's only the most important person in the nation.
Azariah was a noble in his old nation. He doesn't know the etiquette other than what he knows of walking up to his own people.
Eventually, you guys do make it over to the collections office slash police station. I mention this because there's actually two collections offices in the grand city of Broad Lake City. One is connected directly to the police station. The other one is marked on the map. So as you walk up, It's a stout and wide blue building with large concrete pathways in the front and about 8 doors. Metal with glass sort of window. And as you begin to walk up, you can see that only 2 of the doors at the very center are open. If anybody would like to, just roll a general insight check as to why there might be so many doors here. Okay, yeah, so pretty easily, if you get over a 10, you could probably assume that the reason there are so many doors in the front of this building is for rapid deployment of officers. This building, while very short, is also very stout. It's very wide, and you begin to notice a collection of horses waiting on the outside at the ready in case of an emergency. As you make your way inside, you can see it's a comfortable, if a bit plain, set of chairs, coffee tables. There's a couple steel benches near the doors where you walk in, and marble tiling, and I should note, really nice marble tiling, both on the floor and on the ceiling. And there you can see a white stone desk at the center with a sort of a clerk's lamplight and a lady there who's currently typing into a typewriter. However, unlike some of the other sort of desk runners that you've seen, here you see a very proud woman. You can see she wears a very typical collections commissioner uniform, something similar to what Carl Witten's was wearing. A very white, pure outfit. And she's actually a tabaxi, as you're looking closer, with black and white fur, with shoulder pads and the signature build hat that comes with collections commissioners. However, what makes her so proud to you is the amount of badges that she has next to her right shoulder. It extends all the way down her shirt. It appears whoever this is, probably important. And as you begin to walk in, she looks up. How can I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Rodin. I am here to inquire of a exotic pet license for, you may be familiar with it, a certain, fey creature.
You can see this tabaxi puts her pen down on the table and stops typing. You came to me for the first time that I've seen you, and you ask for what I assume is an outrageously expensive license.
Yes.
No. If you have any other needs, please tell me.
What needs to be done for us to obtain permission for this license?
She sort of rolls her eyes and leans back in her chair. Quite a lot more than just whatever you're asking right now. You would need station, status, and most importantly, a record of some sort that would indicate that you've done this sort of thing before. I can tell you just by looking at you
I have all of them.
that you are not of the exotic pets variety. In fact, by your shield, I'm guessing you're a follower of Bahamut. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Then in that case, I don't think you have much time for pets now, do you?
Not currently.
Well, in that case,
Valoose, pick up Valoose.
I would recommend building a repertoire or simply not getting one.
Understood. May Bahamut guide the way. I don't know what I'm trying to leave. I haven't worked on that yet. Hang on.
Okay, yeah, so you leave. You can see your party members standing there.
I have a question for my DM Kier.
Sure.
Would I be able to register my firearm and pay my debt here?
Yes, absolutely. The police station is certainly a good place to do it. It's where a lot of documentation is kept. But more than that, if you were to try to contact a military leader, the fact that you're from the opposite side would make things sticky at best, and maybe not possible at most.
I'm just a private citizen trying to register my firearm. Is that really that much of an issue?
It could be if you're with the wrong people, especially those of the racist or ethnic hating type, which, if you're in the military, you might be.
Well, I'm not in the military. Well, they might be, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. Just by looking at your appearance, they would judge you, which is unfortunate, but a fact of this very arrogant and hypocritical city.
Well, no, they might like me. After all, I kind of left because I didn't like what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, you can either do it. You can do it here, or there is a military faction somewhere in the city that you can find.
I would rather get rid of this debt as fast as I could, so I will do it now.
Okay. You walk in, and you can see the same tabaxi. And as you walk in, you'll notice that she does have a nameplate. It's Miss Lady Young.
I'm sorry. Could you spell that out for me?
MS period LADY space YOUNG.
Miss Lady Young. All right. I will walk in, notice all of her decorations, and give her a very respectful bow.
How can I help you?
Yes, hello. I would like to, let's say, get rid of this weight on my shoulder, and I will pass her the document stating how much debt I am in.
She'll sort of look down at the paper after accepting it. Do you wish to pay this here?
If I could.
Absolutely. Yes, go ahead, give me one moment and I will be right back. She steps up from her desk and walks into a room. She uses a key to get inside the metal door on the outside, and after about a minute or two, you can hear the unlocking of the door, and out comes a whole stack of more paperwork.
Oh.
It seems to me that this debt has gone unpaid for a while, would you say?
Yes, quite some time, unfortunately.
Well, there is a bit of an interest on it. However, that could be waived under good citizenship. So, if you'll give me a moment, I pulled everything to do with your name, if that was okay.
Sure thing.
She begins to quickly peer over the notes under the clerk's lamp. And you can see that her eye raises a couple of times, but she's quickly trying to stay as stoic as possible. And as she finishes going through the stack, she looks up at you. Well, you have quite the storied history, yes?
I am quite a colorful character, unfortunately.
Yes, it would be remiss of me to say that you are a bad citizen, so... I can do something for you, but I must ask, what enticed you to come to Zekanre Kingdom?
It's a matter of circumstance. The past decade has been quite unlucky, I would say.
Undoubtedly. Okay. I will go ahead and type up some paperwork. You will be charged 300 gold. And she begins to clickety-clack on her typewriter. And in a matter of moments, she has a sheet with a line at the bottom for you to sign. And she pulls out a lockbox and opens it for you and places it on the counter as well. Money in there, signature there, and we are all square.
I will readjust the amount of money I had prepared to account for that extra 50 gold. And I will sign it.
Okay. Are you not reading it at all? Are you done with it?
I mean, I'll skim through it very quickly just to see if there's any, fine print that I should be aware of. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, go ahead and just make an investigation check. Okay, not too terrible. So you can, as you're sort of, emptying your pockets and getting the things that you need, this document essentially states that this is a written consent to give your money over to the Kingdom of Conray, and specifically Broad Lake City. And secondly, it states that despite being what is labeled here in quotations defector, you will not be charged extra interest for your relations to an enemy. And at the bottom is where your signature is required to say that this is all true.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll sign it.
Yeah, you sign your signature, you put the money in the lockbox, and she swiftly takes it off the counter and locks it, puts it underneath her desk. Well, congratulations. Lafaucheux, is it?
Yes.
Mr. Lafaucheux, your debt is paid.
Thank goodness. Well, I thank you for your time and your consideration. And I bid you
Absolutely.
farewell. Good luck.
You as well. And as you walk out, your party is waiting there.
Sorry for the delay, everyone. But I'm happy to say that now this here firearm is legal, and well, that's about it.
Kazrait's gonna hold out the orb to Emil. Could you hold on to this while I go get my ID?
Oh, and I am so sorry. As part of that, I was supposed to let you know that she handed you a documentation of ownership, so you can add that to your inventory. That is proof, if you ever need to show it, that you own this weapon.
And that I am allowed to carry it?
Yes.
Alright, good. Thank you.
And I'm so sorry, what were you saying, Nana?
He was just giving the orb over to Emil so he could go in and get his ID.
Okay.
Yes, I will take it.
Okay. Also, walk up to the desk.
You see this time, although she... You know what, never mind. She just gives you a strange look as you begin to walk up. Yes?
Here to register for an ID.
ID in the city?
Yes.
Do you have a citizen of the city to vouch for you?
I think. One moment. He'll step out. Morgan, are you a citizen of the city?
I'm not a citizen of anywhere, to be honest.
Is there any passerbys that look particularly nice?
Go ahead and make a quick perception. Okay, with a natural 20, you see an old lady feeding some ravens.
He's going to put on he's gonna do his best posture and walk over to the old lady, as they're not trying to scare her or anything.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
She looks up to you and adjusts her glasses. You can see she's wearing a sort of cowl that turns into a dress. How can I help you, dearie?
Well, I have a favor to ask of you. I'm willing to do something for you in exchange, but I need to. I would like to adopt a pet in the city, but I do not have an ID, and apparently I need a citizen of the city to vouch for me. And I was wondering if I could do anything for you that would you would vouch for me.
What?
He thinks, I need your help at getting an ID.
Well, dearie, if you need help getting an ID, you could always go to the police station right across the street.
Yes, but they said I need a citizen to vouch for me, and I do not have one.
Oh, well, you probably need to get one of those.
Well, would you help me? I'm willing to do if you need something in return.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Hmm. He thinks for a moment.
Steam is starting to come out of his ears.
Really scratching his chin. Just as I'm doing.
You can see at this point, though, Lady Young has actually stepped outside the front of the building and is looking towards you. Sir, are you not a citizen?
No, I think I told you that.
She puts a hand on her hip. How'd you get inside the city?
I walked through. My stupidity will get me through this.
I'm afraid, sir, that this city is required to ask for permits when you come inside. And seeing as your pertinence to walk away, I'm going to have to ask you to stay while I call some people to help.
My pertinence to walk away. You asked me to get a citizen to vouch for me. I'm doing so.
I thought that you were a family member of someone, or perhaps a friend, but I don't think that you belong here.
That's quite accusatory.
And you're being quite vague.
No, I think I've been very clear in my intentions. I know non-citizens are not allowed here, so I was asking for a citizenship.
Then you would understand that I can't give you that.
Well, you did not make that clear.
I'm making it clear now. She pulls out a smooth stone, and she speaks into it. I think I might need some help. And when she puts it away, this is an object that you have not seen before. It is a round metallic device that has an antenna on it, and it seems to receive her message. In this standoff, you can begin to hear the sound of horses clopping.
I do not believe this is any fault of my own for your guards not stopping me as I passed through the gates. I mean, I passed through these.
And now you'll be
I
removed.
did not. Mm-mm. Emil, you have not have a plan?
I hardly ever have plans, unfortunately.
Morgan?
I might be able to make a distraction, but we gotta wait for the cops to get here.
And speaking of, you can see two men with similar outfits to the collections officer, although without the bill, and blue, begin to ride up in some horses, and you can see Lady Young points towards Kazrite. And they begin heading that way. You suspect that you have about a minute.
Be an orb.
I will give him his property back.
Okay.
Wait, we've already activated it, though, haven't we? Fuck.
Unfortunately, you did.
Is anyone looking at me?
Make a quick perception check. At the moment, other than, the police officers looking in the general direction, no, nobody's paying attention particularly to you.
So if I, for example, reached into, let's say, a gray bag of mine and
Oh no.
pulled out an object and threw it into the middle of the road.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, I will be performing a horrible plan. Here we go. What do I roll for the gray bag of tricks?
Hold on. I can pull up the magic item. I believe you have to roll like a d6. It might be. Bag of tricks. Oh boy. My internet is being so slow. Maybe it's the fact that I'm streaming, have Discord open. And I'm looking this up. I might just have to do
It's like it's a
old-fashioned way.
D8.
Right, I was trying to look at the results. Do you have those on you?
I do, and 5 is a panther.
Oh? Okay. Yeah, so as your
Oh,
friend
fuck.
is about to be accosted, you pull into the bag, you feel something fuzzy and warm, and you throw it out, and suddenly, like a rolling snowball, it begins to get larger in the air, and out comes a panther. I guess we need to roll initiative.
Oh.
Let's do this one. And this is very impromptu, but let me yeah, let's do here. Okay. Go ahead. We're gonna say that this building here is in the center. Let me make sure this is on the right layer. There we go.
So we got a plan, boys.
Running.
Well,
Getting out.
I guess so.
I've sprung a distraction. Morgan's walking away.
I don't think you're gonna get off too easy now either.
I'm just gonna start walking.
Let me just
Well,
put down some tokens here. Whoops. Am I missing anybody? I think we're good.
Old lady.
Oh man, the Volus image is so cute. And let me pull up the stats for a panther. Panther 5e. I think ultimately, does the big gray bag of tricks specify that it acts on your turn?
Reveals the presence of a small fuzzy object. You can use action to pull a fuzzy object. The object lands and transforms to a creature you determine by rolling a d8 and consulting the table that corresponds to the bag's colors to the monster listing. The creature vanishes at the next dawn or when it's reduced to 0 hit points. The creature is friendly to you and your companions, and it acts on your turn. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I don't have a panther token, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this person sideways, and that's gonna be a panther.
Wow, that's a cool panther.
Yeah, look at that. It's so cool.
Look at art.
Wow,
Where'd you get that?
Yeah, I'm also gonna throw this here and this here for the 2 officers. And I think we're good. I'm gonna make this one red and this one blue. Okay, so you all are standing in the front of the building. You've just thrown out this panther, which is drawing a lot of attention now. Go ahead and roll initiative. Oh, and I should probably pull up initiative. I'm so sorry. There we go.
So my token should be a little bit smaller.
I gotcha.
There we go.
Okay.
Can you add Solen's turns, please?
Oh, yes. Hold on. Add turn. Did they already roll? Yes, okay, we're good. All right, and I'm quickly going to add a turn for the police officers. And I assume your intention is running, so this might not be that difficult. Let me... Okay,
Yeah,
they have
straight
rolled an
fight, let's go.
11. And I will go ahead and order this.
6.
All right, Kazrite, it's your turn first.
Like a rail car.
Yeah, sort of a trolley.
Fashion. That is it.
Okay, fair enough. We'll go ahead and move on to Veloose, apparently.
Veloose, I guess, is going to ride with me, so he's just gonna do nothing. I guess the help action, in case it becomes relevant.
Okay, easy enough to do. It is the police officers' turns, and they are just going to quickly make their way with a dash over here, I think. Yeah. And then we'll say here. And as they're running towards you, they say, "Don't run! Stop in the name of the law!" And we'll move on to Emil. So far, they don't seem that focused on you all. They seem to be focused on whoever Lady Young pointed out.
Alright guys, this is when we start screaming there's a panther.
I think I'm just gonna stay put.
Okay. That's an option. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Morgan.
Uh,
And by extension, Black Panther.
Panther. Okay, there's no way I can really talk to it and give it commands without being obvious that it's a panther under my control. Okay. I'm just gonna...
You could whisper to it.
Yeah, I could walk up to the panther, whisper in its ear, and then have it charge at the police.
They're significantly further away from you, so if you say something like under your breath.
I was about to say, unless you had a spell like message.
I don't think I do. Let me... No, I don't.
So I'm assuming there are other people on the street, so it'll make it even harder for them to hear you.
There are. In fact, this is causing quite a commotion as people are sort of peeking down the street and seeing what's going on. Although this is a pretty big city, so it's not like super uncommon.
So like, is there like a crowd like forming like near us that I could like slip into?
No, definitely more passers-by that are taking a stop to look.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pretend to be afraid of the panther and slowly walk away from it. It's 30, it's right there. And I'm gonna move here.
Okay. Easy enough to do. The panther there is still growling and snarling. Anything else for you?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Droden, it is your turn.
Jordan's gonna like start to take a step forward, and he just kind of stops and puts his other hand on his shield, and is just very conflicted right now. But for now, Jordan can't think of what to do in this situation.
Okay, yeah. It is Soline's turn.
Yes, I take a smoke break.
Easy enough to do. You light up a smoke, and you enjoy what's going on. Okay. Kazrite, it is your turn.
Okay.
And right before your turn starts, I want you to know, there is a person that comes out of this bush, and he extends a hand to you. They're in a cloak.
He's gonna mutter demon under his breath and then run towards him because he has no other choice.
That's an actual bush wizard.
Okay. You run towards him. Do you accept the hand?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. You take the hand. It is a firm grasp, and you are pulled into the bush.
Well,
And we'll come back to Kazrite in a minute.
okay, thank you, mysterious space stranger. Can
And
he help me obtain my license?
in fact, if all of you are not engaging in combat, the guards are so distracted by the fact that there's a fucking panther in the middle of the street that could harm civilians. They turn back, don't see Kazrite, and are going to try to apprehend this panther. And for all intents and purposes, combat is over. So we come back. That's way too calm for this. Let's do this one.
Azrael is like immediately in like sword stance. Who are you, strange demon?
We'll get right back to you in a minute.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Yeah. So the rest of you, you see Kazrite run to the stranger, take its hand. They're gone. Into a bush. And you can see these two police officers are still fighting furiously with this panther, and you can see Lady Young looks towards you all.
I'm going to help the cops.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
Okay, this panther looks so confused as it's being battered by police officers and the very people that summoned it.
Police brutality.
As you all work together to pin this panther down, you see the officers don't actually attempt to kill it at all. They actually handcuff it.
You're coming with me.
And they start pulling it towards the same direction as that exotic tent. So, yeah, that's going to be their job for the day. And as they sort of look to Lady Young, she furiously stomps her foot on the steps and walks back inside the building.
Well,
That was eventful.
for what it was supposed to be, yes, quite eventful.
Does anyone here know any bush wizards?
No. Can't say I do.
Well,
Let's
uh,
let's try and go take a look, shall we?
Okay.
Do we want to get involved with bush wizards?
Or do you want to leave Kazrai to deal with whatever the hell that was by himself?
Kazarite's a strong guy.
Correct.
mean,
But
if-
unfortunately, he's not the most intelligent.
Wouldn't be the
And
first time he's been in a situation like this.
I
I
think
mean, if it's willing to
that-
help him, it might be willing to help us.
Go
I
help us
guess
adopt
so.
the Fae.
if it is sentient and is looking to try and attain something from Kazrite, we should try and make sure that nothing too devious happens.
Let me make a deal with it on my own.
Don't make a deal with a hag.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I? Fine, bush wizard.
So, I'm gonna speed run this mostly because I want to make sure that we get our break in. But you look into the bush, and they're not there. And as this sort of weird scenario starts to come in, and you get the feeling that this is gonna be a search, we're gonna take our break, and we will be back to find out what happened to Casright.
You know, this was probably the most fuster-cluck session we've had so far.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We are back from our break. Last we left off, our group discovered that Casrite disappeared into the bushes. And in fact, let's catch up with that now. So, as you accept the hand and you ask, "Who are you?" and pull out your weapon in this bush.
I didn't pull it out. I'm holding it in the sheath.
Okay. The stranger, without looking at you, turns around and says, "If you want to live, follow me." And heads further into the bush.
We'll keep going.
You're going to the Feywild.
I'm going to the Feywild! Is it frozen? We're gonna find out.
So-
You're going to Brazil.
What do the guys look like?
As you're doing this, you can see this person on this cloak starts waving their hands, and suddenly your footsteps don't make a sound. And to anybody else, this might be obvious, but to Casrite, probably not. They've cast Pass Without a Trace. And they begin weaving you through the streets. Would you mind making me a stealth check, plus 10? Okay, 17 stealth. You begin to, even surprising yourself, nimbly make your way through the streets and the alleyways, through dark and cramped corridors between buildings. And eventually, you make your way to a spot that you saw before, this abandoned rug shop. At the front, you can see the disheveled sign saying Raga's Rugs. And a condemned sign boldly hanging on the door, which is promptly ignored by the stranger who opens it and ushers you in. Yeah. Inside, you see a carpeted floor with some ramshackle and falling wooden panels at the top. It's dark in here, and at the front, you can see a rusted old cash register with some papers flown about. And this person puts in 4 clacks. Click, 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 click. And suddenly they drop. And they're gone.
Go poke around to where they went or where they dropped.
You can see there is a hole behind the counter.
The hole
Follow.
belongs to you. It's your hole.
Well, yeah, it is. I jump in.
It's dark. And then suddenly you freak out as you're falling and you don't feel anything, and then suddenly, boom! You hit on your ass, some sort of metal piping, and you begin to slide.
Good thing Casrite is fucking dumpy thick.
Yeah.
No impact felt.
And you begin to slide down this metal chute, and eventually you shoot out, and it hurts your eyes, the amount of brightness change, and you suddenly begin looking around, and you can see the stranger is sitting at a cushioned chair in what is some sort of basement that looks actually kind of familiar to you. But putting that away, you can see the room is lined with books and maps and charts and magical scrolls, some items that are currently in glass casings, and the table in the center here is massive. It could probably seat something like 20 people. And they sit into a chair and usher you to follow.
I will sit down.
Here, they finally unsheath their cloak, and in Art and Docs, I'm going to post an image of who you see.
President, right?
That's right, the president of the Conray Kingdom has come here to save you now.
Thank you.
Hold on, I gotta find the... There we go. This is who you see. And as they pull back the cowl, you can see it's a dwarven woman, probably somewhere in their 30s. You could guess. And on their shoulder is a raven, a bird that is sort of antsily moving on their shoulder. And as they look to you, they say, "Thanks for following me down here. Look, I noticed that you were in a sticky situation. So consider this my first hand of invitation. Let's start with the basics. I'm sure you're very confused. My name is Raga Irongoal, and my crew," as she gestures around, and suddenly, you didn't see them before, but seemingly coming out of nowhere, a group of about 30 people appear in the room around you, all armed to the teeth with guns, spears, bats. All of them dressed very similarly to her, with the black band at the top, a tattoo on the forehead, and the sort of white furry coat in the middle, with these cloaks that are attached behind them.
That's right. Jumps back in his seat. Wall people.
She sort of... her eyebrow twitches for a moment before she continues. "This here is my posse, the Night Ravens. Here's the
It's a
deal."
sick guitar riff play after she says that.
Indeed.
Fucking fireworks over her head.
Here's the deal. I noticed you and your crew carry a lot of premium items with you. And I need to preface with, we're not here to take any of it. In fact...
Wait, could you help us get the Fae?
I'm sorry?
There's a lady in town who has a Fae in a jar, and she said she would give it to us if we can prove that we will take care of it. I can give you the orb if you wanted to trade.
Let's circle back to that. Let me pose this first. Okay, are you close with your friends?
I hope so, yes.
Here's the deal, pal. I listened to your whole conversation. I can get you ID, documents, people that vouch for you. All you need to do is get your friends down here.
I'm sure you could just ask them. They're probably looking for me right now.
Well, you know how we can vouch for you. You need to vouch for us, okay? We're not here to hurt you. In fact, we want to talk about the stuff that you're carrying because we know a bit more about it.
Do you know his name? He'll pull out the bugbear totem. I could ask him 3 names every day, but I think it would take a while.
His name is Gore.
Gore?
That's right.
They'll stow Gore away.
Gotta fact check that tomorrow.
So here's the deal.
Gore. There we go. I had to put it on my sheet.
We're gonna put a
boy.
blindfold over you while we go up because I don't want you knowing how to get out of here. But once we do that and we get out, you're gonna help me get your friends down here, and then we can talk where nobody's gonna listen.
Sure.
Sounds great. Okay. Bobby, who is about 6 foot tall, broad-shouldered man, puts a blindfold over your eyes, and you're whisked away. The rest of you up top...
Are they carrying me like a princess?
Yes. The rest of you up top, you've sort of peered around the street, peered around these bushes, and you have no idea where Kazrite's at. However, only a short time later, you see Kazrite pop out of this alleyway, right here.
Anyone have a cloak we can put around Kazarite so the cops don't notice that he's still around?
You can feel the blindfold being taken off, and you're shoved into the street.
I don't think I need the cloak. You should follow me, please.
What?
The bush wasn't requested, so they're very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure a hag is gonna pretend to be really nice. They want something from you.
I do not believe she's a hag. I think they're wall people.
Old people?
You shouldn't just
Wall
call people hags.
people.
That's
Wall
good.
people.
Yes, they emerged from the walls, but they didn't. They were very kind. They asked me before blindfolding me.
I got like a
The blindfold
doctor's
was-
appointment.
But I think. Well, I mean, they probably have a doctor. They said they would get me a new ID.
I don't know. I mean, what do they want?
I'm not sure. They said they're interested in our magical artifacts, but they don't want to take them from us.
So they'll pay us?
I don't know. I think they want to help us research them.
They're probably like a magical fence or something, and they want us to
Well-
sell to them.
I mean, I do not believe they want to take them from us at all.
Do we want to speculate, or do we just want to go?
We should ask them.
Exactly.
Can we take them if anything goes wrong? You think, Kaz, right?
I'm not sure. They emerged from the walls, but I don't think they're going to hurt us.
I don't know.
Now that all of this has gone down, what good does an ID do for you? At least in this city, I'm not sure that simply having papers now will clear you of whatever just happened now.
If we lie low a few days, and I mean, any other city would be helpful.
Well, I mean,
I didn't get any of my documentation from Vatnisfield, and I'm sure I'm wanted there now. This will be helpful in any capacity.
I mean, as long as we avoid Miss Young specifically, I think it should be helpful anywhere else.
Correct. Especially getting out of the city. I still need to leave.
Malin, what's your passive perception?
my passive perception is. Lucky number 14.
As you're having this conversation, you feel like somebody's watching you, and you look around. There are about 50 ravens currently perched on the rooftops above you and are staring at your group.
Bro, I don't give a fuck what anyone says in character now. I'm going to the goddamn female swain.
And unlike most ravens, they are not cawing. They are not moving. They are looking at you.
How many eyes do they have?
They want pickles.
They have
They
two eyes
can't
each.
have them.
Interesting. I think we should continue making decisions in the alley or down there, where we're not in front of the police station.
Okay, I guess we can go. Let me ask Valoose what he thinks. Valoose, should we go
Oh.
to the crazy wall people?
They knew the name of the totem,
What's the totem's name?
Gore.
Did you ask the totem if that was true?
The totem is resting.
Well, then how can you know if they told you the right name?
Well, it seems very befitting of the totem who grunts all the time, no?
That's pretty.
They
Pretty
didn't hear it. They didn't hear it grunt.
Fair
How would they know?
enough.
He didn't go back.
Okay. Do the rest of you follow?
Jordan has nothing to lose, he'll go.
Let's go.
For those of you who do follow, you make your way through the streets and find that Kazrite is exceptionally quiet. And you eventually find yourself in front of that rug shop that was mentioned earlier. It's broken down. You see
By the way-
gem sign.
Question.
Yes.
While they were carrying me out, could I have remembered a vague way through there with my Wanderer feature?
Go ahead and roll that for me.
One second.
Well, yes, although in this particular instance, you would remember the path back to the rug shop, but as of how you got out from the basement, it isn't as clear.
You just gotta close your eyes, have one of us carry you, and then.
I don't know if it'll be just like last time. I don't think anyone in this party could carry Kaz, right? Actually,
And in
no,
fact-
small Kaz, right?
Let's go back to Broad Lake City. And you'll find Raga's rug shop here in the markets. I don't have a pin for it yet, but you'll find it right around here on this building, on the corner of two streets. And you see Kazrite confidently open the condemned door into this dark building.
And he will go and check for the hatch.
Azurite's lost his marbles.
Assuming
In
it's
your
not there.
ear,
Oh.
Morgan, you hear a message being sent to you. 1797.
Oh, okay. I guess I search around for a safe. I would assume to put that into.
Kazrite's right in front of the cashier or cash register.
I'll say, yeah, go ahead and make a general investigation, but you do see Kazrite fumbling with this cash register.
He's starting at 1.
That'll go well.
Oh, whoops.
0.
That said Valus, but that
One.
was me.
Okay, yeah, you look around for a
0,
safe
0,
or
2,
like a lock, but it
0,
appears
0,
the cash
0,
register
3,
is the only thing that draws your attention.
0,
There's no books or
0,
anything.
0,
It
4,
was what?
0, 0,
17.
5.
17.
Huh?
37.
Did you find the code?
97.
97.
Okay.
He'll put in 1797.
1797, you see Kazrite drops to the floor. Whoop! Gone.
Oh, guys, Kazurite is dead.
And since you were standing next to the cash register, you do see the giant hole in the floor.
Again? This is the second time today.
Yeah. Hey guys, there's like a giant like trap here. I think
We'll sit at the
Kazurite's
bottom
dead.
to catch them, by the way.
You hear
Because
that
I know they
same
don't have
voice
divine ass like Kazurite.
creeps into your ear and says, "Jump in."
All right, so the voices in my head are back, and they're telling me to do things that are bad, and I probably should go see that doctor right about now.
Where are you guys at?
I jump in the hole.
Okay.
Jordan will take the plunge.
All right. Celine and Emil, you've been quiet. Are you following along with this?
Yes?
Great. You jump into the hole. It's like a horror version of a water slide. What about you, Emil?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You hop in, and it's uncomfortable, and your butt bounces a couple times on loose bolts, and you eventually make your way to the bottom in a pile.
Considering everything I'm carrying, I think my butt is just scraped off at this point.
Pretty close. It hurts. You don't take any damage, but it does hurt. And you finally make your way to the bottom, where you can see a room with 30 people in it, all armed with guns. And at the center is the woman you see before you. She waits for you all to stand up and then ushers you to grab a seat. She goes to the opposite side of this very large circular wooden table.
Is there a faster way back to the top of the slide? He'll kind of like lean over and whisper.
I'll show you about it later. We gotta talk. Well, welcome. I couldn't notice, or help but notice, but your group is eclectic and interesting, and, well, here at the Night Ravens, our posse loves interesting.
Rift every time.
Here's the deal. You are carrying on you some of the rarest artifacts that we have ever come across. Things that we have spoken about, but we have never seen. And I am just dying to know if it's the real thing. But I know that you're probably a little bewildered right now. So let me do this. Let me introduce myself. My name is Raga Iron Goal. I am the leader of the Night Ravens. And, more importantly, I am a practitioner of magic, and I'm proud of it. But here's the deal. People in this city, in this country, don't like magic. And my group is trying to fix that. In fact, I think you've met one of our co-conspirators, Lady Young. But I think she got the wrong impression of you, which is why we're here.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, before I dive too deep into grilling you all, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Morgan.
Roden.
That's all right.
You're great, by the way.
Thank you.
What about the two fashionable ones?
We'll see about names a little later, Mrs. Ironcold, if you don't mind.
Fair enough. Let's build some trust.
gonna lean over. His name is Emil.
Thank you, pal. So, let's open the floor, shall we? Let's start with some questions. We'll ping-pong back and forth, and I'm sure you can understand my friends here are just to make sure that I don't die. Let me start with this. How'd you come across these items?
Well, we picked up Pickles in a tent. He's
Right.
a pretty cool cat.
I'm talking about your orb and the totem.
The totem was found in a underground.
We found it. Period.
Emil, you're being quite
I
ditchy.
know.
I mean, this woman saved my life.
I know, but I still have my doubts and reservations.
Well, let's start with that then. I'd love to build some trust. What do you want to know?
You say your co-conspirator is one of probably the most honored and badge-carrying person I've ever seen in my life.
She
And
is
yet-
very proud of those, yeah.
And yet you work down here.
You know what? That's a good place to start. I'm sure you've gathered that our group does not do very appreciated things in the city, okay? We try to protect the sanctity of magic use. But the problem with that is it's very loud, very easy to notice. So we try to keep things under wrap, which is precisely why we needed to talk to you. That orb that you're carrying is a giant beacon to anybody that can use magic. It's a calling. In fact, I felt like this might be even a little unsafe for it to be. A magic user could spot it from another city. I have to say, I'm impressed that you've made it this far, but also, I can't believe you've made it this far.
It's no big thing.
Azrite's absolute zero skill in magic has balanced out the absolute raw magic coming out of it. Therefore nullifying its presence.
Could this
Oh,
same
God.
amount of tracking be applied to the totem as well?
Definitely, although less so. Enchantment magic is.
Do you know how to free him?
We'll get to that, because I feel like I'm on the same page as your Emil friend here. I'd like to sort of ping pong information as we go. Yeah, so I'll open it up to you guys once again. Do you have any questions for me?
What's with all the birds?
Yes. So, your little Fey friend there. Pretty handy, I'd say, being able to pop in and out when you need him. But for someone like me, practical magic is something that I'm a big fan of. And for a point, I don't want to get too deep into it, but my family has an association with ravens. And when I was young, I made a habit of making friends. Turns out I can make a lot of friends.
Something like a Queen of Ravens?
Funny, but no, not really. I'm not a huge practitioner of the divine. Since I've answered that, why is it that you snuck into the city at all? What's so important here?
Groceries.
Yes, we are. Kazran's gonna start reading he's gonna pull out the list. We need lumber, food. What else was it? He has the
Salt,
list on my fucking
ginger,
brain.
water.
Yeah. Kazran pulls out his little glasses and he just reads off all the groceries.
Marble, charcoal.
What are you trying to do? Build a city?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was a sarcastic question. In that case, maybe we'll get back to that. I need to be more fair. Do you have any more questions for me?
Do you know how to build a city?
I know how to build a community.
That'll work.
Wait, he's gonna motion for a huddle.
What do we think? What do we think?
We could potentially have our help with making the guild. She knows how to get friends.
I would like it if the Golden Spire was like a pretty open about magic kind of city. That'd be pretty cool, I think.
Also, I guess since the beacon's so noticeable, perhaps maybe we should check if it just naturally has ways to hide magic, and we could just store things in there.
Yeah. Sounds good.
What do you know about the Wild Hunters?
What do you know about the Wild Hunter?
You know what? Fine. I'll start. Yeah. This place belonged to the Wild Hunters, as she gestures out. And now that you're looking at it, it is remarkably similar to the other bunkers that you found on various places, although this one wasn't marked on the map at all. The big difference here is that this one has been probably remodeled. It has a variety of furniture, a working fireplace, this large center light that's beaming down on the wooden table that you all sit at. And she begins to continue. In a weird way, this whole thing started because, well...
Oh no! It's a thieves guild!
This whole thing started because, as I'm sure you know, she says, gesturing over to Emil and Sulian, Bandalag de Verga and the Motorland, they got a conflict going on. And, well, my family was all gung-ho about it, and me, not so much. I wasn't a big fan of that. So, I moved here, made a life, started selling some trinkets on the street. But what I didn't expect is that the people here, despite claiming to be the center of the Conray Kingdom, right? The forging of 3 unions of people, really fucking hated that I came from another place. And so, I didn't make a profit, and I had to bed down in some uncomfortable places, one of them being that rug shop. This place, as I've discovered, has been abandoned for a long time. It's changed names a couple of times, but it's so disheveled that I found a loose plank. And what do you know? It's a perfect hiding spot. I'm trying to take down the people in this place that hate people like me and hate people like you. I'm not the bad guy here. I just have to do things a certain way, mostly avoiding prying eyes. And what helps with that is this group. I've read the books. I've looked at the trinkets that they've gotten here. And in fact, I got them all cataloged and ready to read if you're so interested. But the problem is, I just don't think that you're in good faith, because you took those from someone, right?
Like, what? From what?
That that
one,
orb, that totem, those are immense items.
the orb was at the top of a tower, and I took it from the tower because it was doing something very wrong, I believe.
A tower. Well, okay. I've given a bunch of exposition. Okay, but here's the TLDR. I'm here to bring back magic and find out what these wild hunters were talking about. They have so much in writing about an age of darkness, right? And these books are hundreds of years old. How could they have known about this storm that constantly plagues us? I want to know. And so I think the key is collecting the stuff that's on the cover of that book. I'm sure you've seen it. It's the same one in every place.
Well,
No.
what book?
If you remember, some of the journals that you collected of the founding members did include a spot on the leather-bound books that included a number of symbols. At the time, you probably didn't connect the dots, but as she mentions that, if you look down to the journals that you collected, they do have a number of artifacts, 2 of which you already have.
I think it's quite the coincidence we were able to find 2 of them then.
Well, I'm thinking it's not a coincidence, which is why I needed to get down to the bottom of it. So, if you're not willing to spill the beans...
I mean, I think our friend here, he'll hold up Gore again. Whenever he wakes back up, he could tell you that we just found him. And he was with me whenever I got the orb, so he could tell you that I just found the orb as well.
I'll take your word for it. Any more questions for me?
So your main goal right now is to make magic public.
That's right.
Publicly available.
As you know, there's a lot of policies in place that make magic taboo when it's only there to help people.
What do you want us to do, though? What are you asking of us?
I want you to work with me. See, there's a big speech coming on tomorrow. President Holbeck, from my sources, is planning to limit the restrictions on magic. And if they can do that, we can have the presidents to explore and find out what these items are supposed to do. we would be able to make this information public. We could start a search. We could find out what all of this is about. It's of utmost importance to me, but I'm sure it also interests you, right? I mean, magic is a great thing. You guys love magic. You keep all this magic stuff on you. So, let's collaborate. We can do this together.
Okay.
I do not believe it's wise to make this information publicly known, though.
What's the harm?
We're bad actors collecting the other pieces before we can.
Hey, group huddle, guys, group huddle,
Okay, huddle.
group huddle. Okay, yeah. So I say, this is a perfect opportunity, right? We can get them to come to the Golden Spire and start operating outside of our guild house as like guild researchers, right? We can get them in the Golden Tide, and then we'll have a group of practical like sages available to us.
I don't believe they're going to want to just leave their old guild and join ours.
Well, they're not gonna. They're gonna operate in our guild house. They can still be the Night Ravens.
I believe a collaboration could help us both here.
We could have a cool name like the Golden Ravens.
No.
Much cooler than Golden Tide and both Night Ravens. You're both dogs at making names.
It's a great name. So is Night Raven.
I might honestly just join Night Raven.
Guitar play whenever other people say Night Ravens.
Look, I know you guys are doing a lot of whispering over there, but can I have a yes or a no?
On a condition.
Oh boy, what is it?
We would like it if
I believe
you.
that condition will come naturally as we keep working together.
I even believe it's a condition. I think it is an offer. Would you like to work out of our guild hall in the Golden Spire?
Did you just say the Golden Spire? Like, the Metal City?
Yeah.
Correct. Where I retrieved the orb from.
You hear a couple of gasps around the room as these people who have just been staring at you audibly make noise for the first time. She sort of puts her hands up.
Shit. I thought there was people there.
We've only heard of writing about this city. You've been there?
I live there.
You live there?
That is a
We are
city we are.
We are
That is a
currently,
city we are building.
we are currently trying to make it a functional city.
Have you researched all the stuff in it? That is a gold mine.
Wait, didn't we come to the conclusion that the ball was veiling the city?
Yeah, that is a theory because it was posed in the
Okay.
tower. You took it out, and suddenly the city wasn't cloaked.
There is a possibility that this orb that cloaked us was also responsible for cloaking the city, but I removed it.
That makes so much sense. Yes, because oh my gosh, King Omenstar was an entrepreneur. He wanted to increase tourism. Oh my goodness, this is. Ooh, I'm gonna have to. Give me a drink, Bobby. You see, Bobby goes into the back room and gets a glass of lemonade.
If you can do IDs, could you get me an exotic pet license?
We'll have to see about that. Here's the deal, okay? If you don't trust me, and you don't trust the police, then you're a weird folk. But what if I said you could trust us both? All right, not all the police, but Lady Young and I are dating.
Congratulations.
Thanks, but more importantly, we see eye to eye. Okay. We're on the same page. Magic is good, and I think that it can be even better. And she and President Holbeck, I mean, they're not like super close or anything, but she's been influencing a lot of the decisions up there. I mean, she is the coordinator of defense for the city, so I think we got a real good shot of doing this. It all just depends on how the speech goes tomorrow, and I think if you guys were present for it, that would be the best thing.
We intended on being present for it.
Great. Yeah, I have a plan. And it depends on what Mr. Holbeck says, but I know for a fact, okay, that he's gonna change things. So, Lady Young has a couple of speeches prepared, and if that's the case, I mean, I know it's a little showboaty, but would you mind just holding up the orb at the end of the talk? And don't worry, I'm gonna help you protect that thing, because walking around in the open is not the best idea.
This is starting to sound suspect.
Are you? Is there a specific trouble you're worrying about, or just general safety?
Well, the fact that it's a beacon, B, fragile, and C,
Right.
very valuable. So
Right.
all of those things would make it a big target to be stolen.
But not like any specific person you know of or organization.
Once again, I believe we are better just working in the shadows until we know more.
I'm I'm gonna cast detect bots. This is starting to sound a bit strange.
No. When you cast a spell and as your action each turn, I will say you're not being sneaky with this.
Oh
It does.
no, I just want to fucking pop in there real quick and see if what she's saying is straight up villainous.
Okay. Either way, the target knows that you're okay. So, how deep did you want to go with this? Are you detecting just the surface level, or are you probing?
I'm trying to see it. So I'm just trying to check if what she is saying is like she's trying to get us to do something to enact some kind of evil plan, or if this is some crazy scheme or not.
So I'll tell you on the surface level, what you've got is a bundle of emotions of excitement, uh, a little bit of anxiety, and a small amount of joy. What you also get is that no, that at least consciously, she is not being evil. She has no ill intentions towards you or your party.
Okay, I'm gonna pipe up. I'm gonna keep the spell up, but I'm gonna pipe up. Be like, okay, this is just you know, you're talking a lot about trust, and this is a real good way to check if I can trust or not. Do you mind if I probe a bit deeper?
Well, this seems entirely invasive.
It is.
Bobby, could you just make sure that we're on the same page? And suddenly, Bobby puts a hand out, and you feel the same thing in your mind.
That's fine by me.
All right.
Why didn't he do Kaz right? Could have heard elevator music.
or that joke where it's just like a monkey banging cymbals. Anyway,
He's thinking of the monkey that he bought.
yeah. So go ahead. You can probe deeper. I believe you have to ask. No. Yeah. So, what are you probing more for?
Why we have to hold the orb up during the ceremony?
You find that they think that it would be really cool and a triumphant return to magic.
All right, and then I'm gonna stop casting the spell.
Meanwhile, your brain gets punctured by Bobby, and you hear, "What's your plan with the wild hunters?"
Do we guys? Do we have a plan with the wild hunters?
So, if that's the
friends.
forefront question of your mind, that's what he's getting back.
Yeah.
Kazrai just wants to be friends with them because they seem cool. Everyone is just following him.
Okay. And do you have any intentions of hurting me or my friends?
No.
Okay, he pulls out. He's all right. They're all right. Is that right?
Yeah.
They're all
Thank
right.
you.
You can see a nod. Great. So I'll tell you what. You have free stay here whenever you need it. Just please make sure that you're quiet coming in. We're on a quiet street anyway, but you get my point. Secondly, let me show you what we got. And you can see a parting in the crowd as you begin to walk into the back room of this underground bunker. Inside, as you all funnel through the hallway, you can see there's a hallway and it has 2 doors on either side. You pick the door on the left and walk through, and you can see it is what is essentially a vault. You see metal shelves lined with various artifacts, books, pamphlets, maps, charts, all of these things sort of delicately placed on shelves and labeled. Some of them you see have locations. Another has important with 2 asterisks next to it. Furthermore, as you're sort of exploring, you don't notice any items that look like yours, for starters. Most of these artifacts are weaponry and armor and other things that have the symbols of the Wild Hunter on them. And last but not least, as she steps into the room, she says, right in here is where we've got most of our information. Everything that I told you is what I got from these things. So you're welcome to come in any time and peruse them yourselves. We got about 37 books. We have some armor pieces, some weapons, and we also have the locations of the other bunkers, which I'm sure you guys are looking for.
Absolutely.
Great. Then, one other thing you should know. Are you aware of what happened to the Wild Hunters?
No.
No.
Ooh. Yikes. So, from what we can tell from these books, these Wild Hunters, well, they were looking for something. Something dangerous. That's like their whole job. But in this case, whatever record of whatever they were looking for is scrubbed. The people who are looking for it, dead. The families of those people looking for it, dead. And this all happened right around 1797 when the Aurora Borealis hit the world. The most that we can say is whoever did this is coordinated, is evil, and is powerful. But we can't say who. So what you need to know before you hop into this any further is that this is dangerous. We don't know what kind of stuff we're getting into, and that's why we think that strength in numbers might be our best bet. On that note, she walks out of the room and enters another room on the right side of the hallway, and there you can see just an entire room filled with bunk beds and chests. This is our living quarters. It's not exactly cream of the crop, but it's enough to house 50. We only have about, 38 or so. So, if you ever need a place to rest, you got it here.
Whoops. Thank you.
And I'm sure that we're still going to have to work out some kinks in our relationship, but if you ever need anything, just ask. And in fact, give us about 24 hours and we'll get you some new paperwork. I need to talk to the love of my life and tell her that you're okay.
Can we expect to see you at the Golden Spire anytime?
We'll work on that. I do like that idea. I really want to see it, but there's big things happening here and right now that we need to sort out.
Yeah.
All right. If you need anything, call me. There's an elevator at the end of the hallway.
A what?
Elevator, end of hallway, she says, walking away.
Thank you.
What's an elevator?
You walk in, it brings you up or down, and then you walk out.
It's pretty cool, Bobby says, who's still in the room.
See, I mean, they do not want to steal your soul.
Well, I mean, that's I can't speak for everyone.
Do you want to steal our soul,
Oh
Bobby?
no, nope.
Insight check.
Is my soul not good enough for you, Bobby?
Go ahead, roll an insight check.
Oh, I trust Bobby with my life.
Yeah, you know he's a nice guy. You believe him wholeheartedly. Yeah, of course.
Bobby's a good guy.
So yeah, you guys are left in an underground bunker. You see that a lot of these night ravens are sort of minding their own business. Some of them, as you can see, are actually leaving, going up to the top, maybe to gather information, maybe to start planning, maybe to inform Lady Young of what's going on. But they're away.
Bobby, quick question if you don't mind.
What's that?
I kind of made a joke about it earlier, but I'm just curious because of all the ravens. Is there any relation between any part of this group and the Raven Queen?
Nope. We don't like. No offense, but we find the god stuff kind of pretentious.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But my magic's cool also, right?
yeah, it's pretty neat.
Okay.
guess we should hit up that elevator now, huh?
Um, you may go ahead. I think I will begin working on these documents and artifacts. If that is all right.
Oh yeah, that's all right. Just don't break anything, haha.
Even if it does break, I'm sure I can put it back together. So
Sure
big deal.
thing.
Do you have any rocks or pebbles down here that I could take a handful of?
No, not that I know of. I got some chocolate.
No, I don't think you might be allergic to chocolate. I'll go up the elevator. I need to grab some rocks.
Okay. Is anybody helping Emil as he pours through these documents?
I got a doctor's
Sure.
appointment.
I'm the accountant. I am good at this.
Okay. I'll give you advantage, Emil, and the rest of you go up the elevator, and yeah, it for some of you it's a pretty confusing experience. You walk in and it's just a tiny room, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this doesn't seem like it could go anywhere. And you can see Bobby operates the elevator by pressing a button with an up arrow, and suddenly you can feel a vibration around you, a sense of movement, and yet you don't see anything around you as the doors close. And for a minute, it's quiet.
Hey, Troden,
Yes.
can you what can you tell me about like the afterlife?
Oh.
That's a heavy question.
Well, I could tell you what has been told to me through the generations and my own studies. Anything specific or like?
Well, like what's like when someone dies, like what happens?
I From my understanding, it kind of depends on what kind of person you were, but also sometimes what race you are, and other times based on your own sort of affiliation. There's actually a lot of variables. There's more than a couple of places. Well, I guess you could call them all 2, maybe 3 places, but those places have other places attached. I also don't know if this is pre-calamity or post, but
Did you just... Fair enough.
What about like undead? Like what's up with that?
I think well, I guess it depends on if that was by your own choosing or not, and the exact circumstance. Ideally, you'd just go back to where you would have gone originally. Maybe better if you do something better.
So like what you're saying is like if someone like died and then it was like they came back as an undead. Like
In that case, it sounds like it wasn't really their choice, so I'd imagine they'd have some leniency. Like, you wouldn't be punished, but I don't think.
it's interesting.
As this conversation finishes, you can see the door opens. And out in front of you is the rug shop. Although you have to push through a series of dusty, crusty rugs before you end up back in the shop.
We went down the hole, but then we went up the room to hit. Oh, it does go up and down. Is it pulleys? I guess it would be like a well.
So does that mean we could just like go through these rugs and get back to the elevator?
As you look behind you, it's just a wall.
Guess that's a no.
I wonder if the elevator goes back down by itself, or does someone have to stay? Wait, where's Bobby? I think
Bobby is not with you.
Okay, someone probably stays then. Interesting. It's like a vertical ferry. I could probably, if I take the time, I could maybe make one of these for the Golden Spire.
Oh,
Then we could just go up and down really fast.
that would be really useful.
On that
I'll have
note,
to ask the other two about that later.
Emil, you and Kazrite stay behind to investigate some
Selene.
things. Oh, and Selene. Okay, great. Yeah. Actually, since it's the three of you, one of you can roll at advantage. All three of you could roll. It's totally up to you. But investigation is what I'm looking for here.
Alright, I think my investigation is pretty high. Let's see if I'm lying. I am not lying. In fact, I should probably roll for it.
Okay. Then. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, no, that sucked.
It's mine.
You still have two more rolls.
Oh, do I?
Well, so I was saying like the three of you could roll potentially.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into tonight's episode of Speeding with Seth.
Seth, we are live right now and in a campaign.
Really?
Can you please not? We are trying to be professional here.
Don't grill him like that. that's fucked up, Alex.
Yeah, that's correct.
For those of you in the stream, that's Seth. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Special guest
eating.
star.
Yeah, don't admit your crimes on live though. That is. Anyway.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is the three of you could make rolls individually. One could do it with advantages, and the other could do it normally. So I'd assumed from your reaction that you would just roll it yourself.
Yeah. Well, I was
Kazrite, the true
looking for
investigator.
advantage, but
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we'll just take, as you usually do with these sort of skill challenges, we'll take the average between all of you. So a 9 plus a 17, somewhere in the middle is pretty all right. So
He's got the glasses on. That's why he's looking so good.
yeah, as you begin to peruse, really what happens here is Emil and Celine are both perusing through stacks and stacks of books, but really what they're finding are personal diaries, journals speaking about life back then, which, while interesting, does not give you a ton of information. However, as Kazrate normally does, he goes straight for the maps, and what he finds there is a lot more interesting. Something to note as you're looking through all of this is that, I mean, it is an impressive collection. Maps very similar to yours, but with a lot more footnotes. Things like danger here, watch for the north. In fact, in that journal that you're reading, you find a signature similar to a map on the wall, and as you connect the dots, you assume that this person did both. And here's what you find out. These people were looking for a danger. But every place where the name of this danger would be, it is blank. It will begin a sentence like, we know exactly where the is, but we have no idea how to stop. Or another sentence like, here is the location of the... We know that they have planned this for a long time. So, in your investigation, what you find is that it's hard to investigate. Whatever entity, group, being scrubbed this information almost undoubtedly had to use a sort of magic. If you wouldn't mind, could you roll me an Arcana check?
Absolutely.
Oh, you.
I got it. Nice.
Fantastic. You imagine that whatever this was most likely one spell. It is unique. It is the same. It is everywhere. On the books, on the maps, even on things like scraps of paper left in the pockets of some of these outfits. Like, it is everywhere. This level of information control could only be done by a spell much higher than most people would have access to. You're thinking 9th level or more. It's mind-blowing to think that a word could be erased from everything.
A damn Fae in a jar.
Bet you they know the answer. You should go ask them.
So, that haunting realization comes to you as you sort of pool the information together.
How much does Kazarite know about Faye from his studies?
Just go ahead and make me a quick history check. Okay, I mean,
it sucks.
fairly accurate though. In terms of in-depth lore discussion, you probably would not have heard that much, but I mean, you would have heard about the realms, certainly. You know, the elemental planes of existence, the difference between the hells and the celestial realm.
Typically, creatures is what I'm thinking he would know.
Right, I'm getting to it. So,
Okay.
you know of the Feywild. It's a mystical place where, supposedly, things like elves originated from, although most of that is speculation. What you know about creatures from the Fey realm mostly comes from mythology surrounding your part of the world, right? Creatures like long serpentine dragons and other creatures like malevolent spirits, phantasms. These things that are dubbed of the paranormal really tend to come from one place, and that's the Feywild. How they got there, it's hard to say. Most people assume that the Feywild, much in its wildness, can barely contain itself and tends to rip at certain points, allowing these creatures to get through. As for a creature that could do this specifically, you can't recall.
Okay.
Okay. Well, with that
Okay.
information,
Yeah.
an exposition dump out of the way, those of you up top, do you have any particular plans?
Well, we gotta see the farmer, and if it's all right with you, Jordan, afterwards, I gotta go see like a doctor about this like little amnesia I got. Uh, if it's all right with you, could you like come with me to that?
Sure.
I
Thank
will
you.
let you know that it's starting to crest into the evening. It's about 6 p.m.
Okay. Then we'll probably go to the doctor tomorrow.
Okay. Either way, I need to find some rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find rocks on the
Just
way to the
start
farm.
Picking up some pebbles.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Just make a quick, I don't know, nature check.
But Luce is gonna help.
I'm glad you said that. You
Yeah, nature's
send
intelligence, by the way.
you send Volus over to Drodin, in hopes that maybe it'll help out. What you don't realize is that Drodin apparently doesn't know what a rock is, and continues to pick up things like coins. You get 2 copper pieces.
Nice.
Nice.
That's enough to buy a map.
You
Oh my
find
god, it is.
you find some shit, uh, presumably from ravens, and before you get too much further, in a combination of paws and mouth, Volus is carrying about 8 pebbles.
Just writing that down real quick. Okay.
And you make your way all the way up, which it's it's quite a journey. You make your way up as these people are investigating and pouring through books to the north side of town. Make a quick perception check to see maybe if you can see this farmhouse.
Alright, see now perception, that's wisdom. I can do that.
Wow. Okay. With the 2 of you, you eventually make your way to a district of town that you can see is strangely covered, but by glass. As you would presume, to grow stuff in here, you would need a greenhouse, and unsurprisingly, they have those outfitted here. You see a plethora of greenhouses, mostly surrounding this area. I'm trying to make it clear. Right around here. You see lots and lots of greenhouses, storehouses for grain and other things, and most of them are actually fenced off and protected by the local police. As you make your way very north, there's probably a group of 4 farmhouses that stick out to you, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out which one is Dave. As you can see, there's a sign that says Dave's Barn. On the side of the barn is a small ranch-style house, and on the inside of the barn is a steel and glass protected interior with a plethora of still-growing plants, including tomatoes, corn, and most importantly, and over 90% of it is grain.
Well, I think this is our guy.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
So let's give him a knock, I guess.
You give a knock on the door, and
Yes.
only a few moments later, you see a thin as a pencil man with a scraggly, graying beard with a large sun hat open the door. How can I help y'all? What?
Oh, hey, your cousin actually referred us over here. We were looking to get some help transporting some stuff over to a city, and he said you might be able to help. And along with that, if you have any animals for sale, we'd also might be willing to take them off your hands.
Well, that's a hard bargain. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. He shuts the door, and you wait out there for probably 20 minutes. Just waiting. And waiting.
Got any twos?
Go fish.
And eventually, the door opens back, and you can see he put on a coat. And he steps out with his cane. If you wouldn't mind following me.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
And painfully slowly, he makes his way to the front of the barn and opens the door and then stops. You don't mind if I have a little bit of protection around here?
Yeah, no, I don't think I would. What do you mean? Like, what do you need it for?
About 30 paces away, you can see a man with a rifle in his hands, and he steps up and is now behind you.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Alrighty, follow me.
I thought you meant you were about to open this barn door and like a giant monster was gonna shoot out of it.
That was funny. Anyway, follow me.
Oh god, I thought he was coughing.
You walk inside and you can see it's quite beautiful. It is a rarity to see growing plants, and here they are. From all sorts of sizes, from small to big, from ripe to still budding. At the very back of this glass container, you can see a small stable made out of rickety wood, and on the inside are a few animals, most of which are starting to bed down as the sun is cresting over the horizon. And he walks over and says, well, usually the city tries to keep this stuff under wraps, but I'll be honest, I got too much for the space, so I'm happy to lend a few off my hands. I assume y'all are good in your nature. Do you want to raise these guys?
They're actually not like for us to raise. We're taking them back to a city that's starting up, and there's some farmhands over there that are going to raise them.
Oh, well, that's just wonderful. I would be honored to help you out. So, I'll tell you what. He points over, and you can see there is a coop full of chickens of all sorts, sort of clucking and clicking around. In the middle, you can see a area with a couple of tubs and some processing manufacturing units you probably aren't familiar with. And those have some cows all lined up, most of them sleeping next to their containers. And on the right, you can see a couple of horses. Only about 3 here, but they're currently munching on some hay. And he goes, well, I can tell you what, I could probably let go of one of my cows and a couple of chickens. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, you got me. I'm all for this. So, how many are you looking for? I'm willing to let go of, say, 4 chickens and a cow.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be, I think we'd be willing to take all that. But I would ask if you know any place where we could get, like, maybe a second cow. That way, they could breed them, and then we could get more.
You're gonna be tough finding one. Animals are sort of my specialty, and while I have a few spaces to go, I'm afraid this is probably your best bet. You can certainly try. There are some other places around. I haven't inspected them myself, but I'll give you some time saving and say it's probably not gonna get you what you're looking for.
Okay. But let's say, for example, those farmhands later on do wish to breed the cattle. Could they take it back over here and then pay you a fee and then have the cattle bred and then ship back off?
Why, sure. Yeah, that doesn't bother me one bit. I assume that means you're going to be taking a female. Is that right?
Yeah.
Why, sure, yeah. That works for me. I got a. He's a bit of a guy, if you know what I'm saying. His name is Ralph the Bull.
Of course.
Ralph the Bull is ginormous. Probably able to swallow you whole if he wanted to.
Holy shit.
Yeah, a gigantic bull. He'll do the job, I'll tell you what. So, for a cow, 4 chickens, give me a second. And he spends an insanely long time, in unsurmountable amount of time, calculating in his head. It's a wonder that he made it past school. Who knows? Maybe he didn't. It's really hard to tell because you're there for probably 15 minutes as he begins counting the gold in his head. And you're starting to get nervous. Like, is he saying that this is going to be a lot? Are we in trouble here? Is this like more than we could possibly imagine? And he comes back to you and says, for the chickens, that'll be 8 silver pieces. And for the cow, it'll be 15 gold pieces.
I suppose we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me. Although I do have a question. Do you know of any way we could find maybe like a rental transport from here to the location?
You'll probably want to talk to the taxi service downtown.
Okay. Do you know if they've like ever delivered goods like livestock before?
No clue.
Okay. I will definitely make a note to talk to them. But yeah, we'll probably come by and pick up, or actually, yeah, no, we'd probably have to pick it up tomorrow. I don't think we can lug a cow around with us.
Well, that probably works out anyway, because until the evening, or I think it's afternoon, swing by here around 2 p.m. President Holbeck is having a speech tomorrow. I don't know if you heard, but it's supposed to be pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be there for it, so I won't be here until about 2.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be sure to stop by.
All right, partner. Well, I know you haven't given me anything yet, but pleasure doing business. And he shakes your hand, and it's wrinkly and shaky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to work with you.
All right. Now, get out, please.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For the sake of convenience, I'm going to say that you all reconvene back in the shady underbelly of the city, in the bottom of Raga's Rugs. What would you all like to do as you finally get back together?
Hey guys, we got some farm animals in reserve for tomorrow. Find anything in the journals?
A lot of things were scrapped out using very powerful magic. It's quite frustrating.
Hey, could probably help us.
Like, scratched out how?
As you begin to ask that, you can see some of the stuff that they've been working on. The books laid open, and where words should be, there is just white paper.
That's strange. It's huh. You guys have any idea what might have done this? Any theories?
A very, very powerful spell. Can't really even begin to tell you how hard this must have been, but sure we'll figure it out eventually.
And I should ask, do you all have plans for the evening, or are we going to fast forward to the next day?
I think I'm good.
Same.
Same.
It's Kazrai getting his ID.
Oh, yes. Easy enough to do. First things first,
Can they get them the permit?
Yes, I'm saying you all take a long rest. And in the morning, you are given a sort of laminated, loosely, piece of paper that has an almost identical setup to the one that Morgan has. In this case, though, it has your name, and it does not claim that they have identity loss.
Sweet.
So,
could they get the exotic pets permit?
she'll say to you, we're gonna hold off on that. That's a little harder to get. Unfortunately, that needs to be signed by President Holbeck.
Well, it's a good thing we can go hound President Holbeck for it.
Yeah. In fact, you guys slept pretty heavy. His speech begins in an hour. So if you want to meet me in the center of town, you'll find it. You'll see a podium in Capitol building. He's going to be speaking there.
I guess we should head out.
All right. If there are no objections, you head out. And by the time that you get to the center, you can see a crowd has begun to gather. This massive group of people, all denizens of the city, and maybe some that are coming just for the speech. The Capitol building itself in front of you is massive, as probably you could guess. Similar to the police station, it's white and blue, but this one has sort of Greek Roman architecture with its big pillars and wide steps and white stone arches, with statues depicting public services like the fire department, the police department, and more. On the large set of steps outside of this building, you can see halfway up, there's a platform set up with a multitude of different microphones, all connected to different conduits, which you assume are radio stations. The multi-level mansion behind him pretty much confirms this is where the president would live. And on the side, you can see the building where his parliament sits. As the buzz of the crowd begins to die down, you can hear a door opening, and out comes President Holbeck. And I'm quickly going to share an image with you all. I'm going to put it in Art and Docs of President Holbeck. Mr. Holbeck is a short man, probably not much over 5 feet. He has gray hair, hazel eyes, very clearly dwarf, and you can see his circlet that he wears is very regal, but it's a necessary compromise, and you can feel that as he fiddles with it. He wears a fox fur cape, and you can tell he's pretty old, even for a dwarf. As he steps up to the podium, he begins his speech, and the excitement and the buzz of the crowd hushes down to what he has to say. You can see bodyguards are lined up all over the place. A member of his parliament, both to his right and left. And this is what he has to say.
Greetings, everyone. Today, I speak to you as a people, and as a kingdom. Every year, it's my responsibility to document and explain the decisions I've made, and the ones I'm going to make. This year will be no different. Through my 10 years in office, I've made substantial but beneficial changes to this country. Trading war machines to the struggle in Bonderlog Deverica has garnered us stronger allies and access to food from the west, and breaking down the wall that divides Colocrats and Core Pits by introducing the even parliament law, ensuring both sides have equal representation. However, there's one thing I haven't accomplished, and it's holding our nation back. The taboo use of magic is stifling opportunities for travel, communication, and food. That's why today, I'll be signing into law policy that makes it so no magic user can be denied.
No.
Well then.
Anyone got healing spells?
Oh!
I was like, I was gonna say, like, I want to cast see invisibility. I want to have Velus running around.
Wait, before we end, can I rage?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Damn, I should have asked if I could have been one of the people in the crowd.
Oh, I just realized that my mic was muted for all of that. I mean, they heard it through Discord, but hey, this is me reiterating what I said. We're going to find out what happens next week because it's super tenuous and scary. Bye!